Got a quick question. Dealing with Jehovah's Witnesses, I sit up here and we talk about John 8:58, of where Jesus says, "I am." Now, they have a particular meaning of that, and they say that, oh, he was given his age. But really think about that scripture, because in the next scripture it says that the Jews considered that he was committing blasphemy, and they went to stone him. Why would they consider it blasphemy if he was just stating his age, or saying that he was old, that he was older than Abraham? Is it blasphemy against Abraham? No, that's not. There's no rule in the Old Testament for blasphemy against Abraham. There was stories of where people did murmured against Abraham, Moses, and then God punished them, but God did it. It wasn't like man had something to do with it. God dealt with them. So why would they consider it blasphemy against Moses, against Abraham? So now, with that being said, then you go back to Exodus 3:14, which most Bibles do say that is a quote from Exodus 3:14. That John 8:58 is a quote from Exodus 3:14. They also changed that scripture to say something else. Well, here, and then what really is funny to me is that they sit up here and tell you is that most Hebrew scholars do not say that it said "I am that I am" in Exodus 3:14, like the King James says, or even other Bibles say. Well, here's the issue with that. Is that when that scripture was quoted, when Jesus quoted that scripture, it was from the Greek Septuagint. Don't you know that the Greek manuscripts were written in Greek? I mean, that the Greek manuscripts, which are our New Testament, were written in Greek, and that during the time of Jesus, actually 200-300 years before he was even born, the Jewish elders, they translated the Hebrew Old Testament into Greek. So there's a good opportunity, a good chance that when Jesus was reading the Bible in our New Testament and all that, all the times when Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John say that Jesus went into the temple and read the Bible, or read the scriptures, that he was reading from the Greek Septuagint, because that's what the language that people were speaking during that time. And so when he got to that point, do you think that he was saying ego I me? Is it a possibility that he was saying ego I me? And so when you read that scripture, and then even more, if a Jehovah's Witness would just get their Greek interlinears, either the purple or the blue, I think it's 84 and maybe 67. I'm not sure, but there's a purple one and a navy blue one, dark blue one. This is their Greek interlinear. If they look at it, it says ego I me, and it's translated as to I am. Now, why would they have done that? Why would everybody else say that those scriptures mean I am? Ego I me means I am, except for the Jehovah's Witnesses, the Watchtower, Bible and Tract Society. You see, when a Jehovah's Witness, they tell you that they have the best literal translation of the Bible, they're doing it because that's what they were told. It's not because they've studied it. It's not because they've sat up here and read that they know the Greek language and then they're scholars on it. They're going by what they're told, because they believe that the faithful and discreet slave, that the governing body would not lie to them. It's funny because even like take me for instance. I look at the King James Bible. That's the Bible I read. But I know that there are errors in it, meaning that it's stuff that where maybe there's words that could be interpreted different, or maybe there's words that should have been translated this way, but instead were translated this way. That there's 5 words for love in the Greek language, but yet they're translated love and charity in our English in the King James version, or that there's 5 different words for hell in the Bible, but yet they're all translated hell. It's not that it's an error, but the thing is, does it mess up doctrine? That's what the issue is. And if you look up in the New World Translation, you'll see error after error when doctrine is concerned. That's the issue. And so going back to my original point, if you take it from the actual Hebrew, if you take Exodus 3 and 14 from the actual Hebrew, and then go to John 8:58, it is not a translation, meaning because it says Esha or here Esha, something like that. I don't know how to pronounce Hebrew words, but what I'm telling you is that it's not a literal translation. But for some reason, when the New when the 70 Greek elders went to translate the Septuagint, translate the Old Testament into Greek, for some reason they took Exodus 3 and 14 and translated it as ego ami, meaning I am in English. So if a Jehovah's Witness looks that up, they would see that. And I'm sorry to say that you have such faith in the governing body that they would not lie to you, but what else do you have to do?